Welcome to Smarter Everyday Education, Standard 10th, Science and Technology Part 1. Gravitation. What is gravity? Gravity is the force by which a planet or other body draws object towards its center. The force of gravity keeps all the planets in orbit around the sun. Explanation. Anything that has mass also has gravity. Objects with more mass have more gravity. Gravity also gets weaker with distance. So, the closer objects are to each other, the stronger their gravitational pull is. Earth's gravity comes from all its mass. All its mass makes a combined gravitational pull on all the mass in your body. That's what gives you weight. And if you were on a planet with less mass than Earth, you would weigh less than you do here. Gravity formula. The gravity formula that most people remember or think of is the equation which captures Newton's law of universal gravitation, which says that the gravitational force between two objects is proportional to the mass of each and inversely proportional to the distance between them. It is usually written like this: G is the gravitational constant, F equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. Another common gravity formula is the one you learned in school. The gravitations due to the gravity of the earth on a test mass. That is, this is by convention written as G and is easily derived from the gravity formula above. M is the mass of the earth and R its radius. So we can write the equation of G, that is small g equal to capital G capital M upon R square. Gravitation. Here planet is earth is there and plants above the earth. Here apple is going in downward directions, means it is falling, and here gravitational force is there in between moon and earth also. The conclusion that the earth must be attracting the apple towards itself and this attractive force must be directed towards the center of the earth. The directions from the apple on the tree to the center of the earth is the vertical directions at the position of the apple, and thus the apple falls vertically downwards. The force on an apple on the tree is towards the center of the earth, that is, along the perpendicular from the position of the apple to the surface of the earth. The figure also shows the gravitational force between the earth and the moon. Newton thought that if the force of gravitation acts on an apple on the tree at different heights from the surface of the earth, can it also act on object at even greater heights, much further away from the earth, like for example the moon? Can it act on even further objects like the other planets and the sun. Gravitation. The phenomenon of gravitation was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. We know that the moon goes around the earth. An object when thrown upwards reaches a certain height and then falls downwards. Gravitation is the force of attraction between any two bodies. All the objects in the universe attract each other with a certain amount of force. But in most of the cases, the force is to be observed due to the very large distance of separation. Besides, gravity's range is infinite, but the effect becomes weaker as objects move away. Example: if a body, for example ball, is thrown upwards, it reaches a certain height and falls downwards because of the gravity of the earth. Gravity and gravitation. Difference between gravity and gravitation. Gravitation and gravity are very similar terms used in physics. Generally, physics peoples are considering these two as the same term. Although these two are sounding alike, but still there is the difference between gravitation and gravity. Gravitation is the acting force between two bodies. On the other hand, gravity is the force occurring between an object and the very weak object Earth. Gravitation also represents that this force is directly proportional to the product of of their masses of the both object, and also it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Usually, gravity is being considering as the nature property of Earth, due to which the objects are attracted towards the Earth. Force and motions. We have seen that a force is necessary to change the speed as well as the directions of motion of an object. Force. Force is the push or pull acting on an object or energy as an altitude of physical actions or movement. This occurs when two entities are in contact. According to universal law of gravitation, every object in this universe exerts a force on others. Motion. In simple words, whenever a body is moving, we say it is in motion. Circular motion and centripetal force. We have seen that a force is necessary to change the speed as well as directions of motion of an object. Circular motion. Motion of an object along circumferences of a circle is called circular motion. Uniform circular motion. Motion of an object along circumferences of a circle with a constant speed is called uniform circular motion. Centripetal force. The force acting on a particle performing uniform circular motion which is along the radius of the circle and directed towards the center of the circle. Circular motion and centripetal force. Tie a stone to one end of a string. Take the other end in your hand and rotate the string so that the stone moves along a circle as shown in figure. Are you applying any force on the stone? In which directions is the force acting? How will you stop this force from acting? What will be the effect on the stone? As long as we are holding the string, we are pulling the stone towards us, that is towards the center of the circle. and are applying a force towards it. The force stops acting if we release the string. In this case, the stone will fly off along a straight line which is the tangent to the circle at the position of the stone when the string is released, because that is the directions of its velocity and that instant of time. Thus, a force acts on any object moving along a circle and it is directed towards the center of the circle. This is called the centripetal force. Centripetal means central seeking. That is, the object tries to go towards the center of the circle because of this force. Means here you will get the direction of velocity and particle is moving in circular motion. And this force is the centripetal force. This force is towards the center. Introductions to scientists. Great scientist Sir Isaac Newton, 1642-1727, was one of the greatest scientists of recent times. He was born in England. He gave his law of motion, equations of motion, and theory of gravity in his book Principia. Before this book was written, Kepler had given three laws describing planetary motions. However, the reason why planets move in the way described by Kepler's law was not known. Newton, with his theory of gravity, mathematically derived Kepler's law. Kepler's law, Kepler's first law. The orbit of planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. Means the elliptical orbit of a planet revolving around the sun. The position of the sun is indicated by S. Means here the sun is there and the planet is moving in a circular motion. But here you will get the ellipse. You will get the ellipse. Means the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. Foci is one here. Kepler's second law. The line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal area in equal intervals of time. AB and CD are distances covered by the planet in equal time, that is, after equal intervals of time, the position of the planet starting from A and C are shown by B and D respectively. Means here AB and CD are the distances covered by the planet. And here you will get equal time. Means after equal intervals of time, the planets goes at B position and here the planet goes at D position. The straight lines AS and CS sweeps equal area. AS and CS sweeps equal area in equal interval of time. That is, area ASB and CSD are equal. Means here this area and this area is equal area and the time also equal. To sweep that area, equal area and equal time interval is there. Kepler's third law. The square of its period of revolutions around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the Sun. Thus, if r is the average distance of the planet from the Sun and t is its period of revolution, then t square is directly proportional to r cube. That is, t square upon r cube is equal to constant. Kepler obtained these laws simply from the study of the position of planets obtained by regular observation. He had no explanation as to why planets obey this law. We will see below how these laws help Newton in the formulations of his theory of gravitation. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Thank you.